me so I can safely start. And we start the way we start. Folks, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And I'll say that again. I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. My name is Nana Ansakwal, the fourth chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa. The only chief who has a republic within the republic. May I say Eid Mubarak to us all. May I say Eid Mubarak to us all. But our topic today, and I chose this topic because, you know what, we're on a holiday and we're all relaxed. Since we can't do anything about it, at least today we can talk and think about it. And I think it's important. Governing based on borrowed culture. Governing based on borrowed cultures. That's what we are talking about today. And I want you to bear with me because I think it's a bit complicated. I think it's not the normal conversation that we would have, even though it's not peculiar to that's my opinion. So this is one of those that we may have to pay attention. Bordering on controversies, but it's worthwhile a conversation to have. Folks, so I want to take us all the way back till whenever it was creation. For those of you who believed it was a big bang, for those of you who believe God Almighty one day decided that, listen, I have the power and I'm going to start creation. Created Saturn, Pluto, the moon, the sun, the billions of stars. Did all this and eventually he created earth. They said the earth was without form and he put water on one side, the earth on one side, made night and day. And he had the power to do it, so he did it. Folks, now this guy had the power to do all these things, and when he got down to earth and he was creating people, well, even though the Bible says he started with, Adam and Eve, but, for argument's sake, let's just leave it at that. But for one reason or the other, folks, in this beautiful world that we live in, there are Ghanaians, there are Togolese, Nigerians, there are Chinese, the Australians, Americans, from Scotland, Irish. He created this beautiful, unique system that even when you come to Ghana, right here in Accra, you have the Ghanas. At the moment, you're eating the akpekpele beautifully. Travel up a little bit, and then you're in the eastern region, and you have the Achems there, you have the Akwamus there. Go further up, you have the Ashantis. Go to the north, the Gonjas, the Andanis, all these. And I think it makes the world beautiful. Folks, I think God, I know his ways are not always, I'm just thinking, right? Just thought that, so that we don't get fed up by age 30 and want to commit suicide, there should be color and diversity. So that every day when you wake up, there's something new to look up to. And today, because of globalization and the speed of the internet, the world has even become smaller. And so you see people do things differently in their worlds. And it goes on well there. To the point that sometimes somebody's even 90 and they don't want to die. They're still going to the hospital, still wanting to live because there's still something to learn in this world. So just imagine God had created all of us Nigerians, or all of us Ghanaians, or all of us Ekuapim. Just one tribe, one language, one food, one attire. So from birth, Nipa chose you because you're equipping. You travel to America, you get to JFK, Nipa chose you. And I am from there you go all the way to Australia, Nipa chose you. More and I mean, by 25, you're ready to commit suicide and die. What else is there to see? But this color, this diversity makes the world beautiful. But somehow, folks, somehow the black man always thinks that no, our portion of this diversity was wrong. We, the black man, the African, we somehow think that our portion of the diversity was wrong and that God might have made a mistake. That God might have made a mistake. And so our history is not told properly. What is left, which is told by other people. There's wisdom in ancestry. Folks, every people, tribe, nation derive their wisdom from their ancestry. Yet we are very happy to replace our ancestors because they are not quote unquote saints. We prefer saints to be ancestors. Well, we prefer to refer to saints. Ours are not saints, they are ancestors, and therefore they are not very godly. Therein lies our challenge. Because right there in our ancestry is where your morals will come from. You go somewhere and they say, hey, don't greet with your left or don't eat with your left. It's not because you have a university degree, it is in your ancestry. Folks, your confidence comes from knowing who you are. Not from what you have read or how much money you have. No. But knowing what your history and the stock you're made of. That's where your confidence will come from. That's where your self-worth will come from. But above all, folks, not repeating mistakes. When you let go and forget about your ancestry and your history, the likelihood of you living through mistakes is just so high. And the likelihood of going up in the world is difficult because what are you basing on? If you knew that you had an ancestor who built a pyramid, you should know that, well, if, 1,000 years ago he built a pyramid, I have to do something bigger. If you knew you had an ancestor who came up with a kente cloth, you should know that by now you should be doing something better than the kente cloth. However, if you look down and ignore it and think it's just a passing phase in history, what are you building on? And so, folks, let us not be quick to throw away history and ancestry because that is where our morals and confidence, self-worth, and our ability to climb up is. The ability to be original. And bear in mind that when the world meets, they only need people who are original. They are not going to call any imitation people onto the table of wisdom or knowledge. They will want original people. Folks, if you look at us and you go back into some of the proverbs that we have, if you go back into the proverbs that we have, it tells you the sort of wisdom that there was back then and the sort of thinking that there was back then. But one of such I want us to pay attention to is benkum dware nifa na nifa dware benkum. The left hand will bathe the right hand and the right hand will bathe the left. And therefore, if you are going and you meet a very clean right hand, know that the left hand was the one that bathed it. It is never said that the right should bath the right and the left should bath the left. See, blow the dust off, the speck of dust off my eye. That's why you see two deers walking. Why is that? So wama oyonku entwa dua untwa kron. If you don't let your friend or your partner or your aide, your friend, to cultivate 10, you will not get 9. Why were they saying these wise words to us? Why was it important? Folks, what they were telling us is that we are a people of cooperation and not competition. Folks, the black man is made up of a system or a spirit of cooperation and not that of competition. And so when I say we are basing a governance on borrowed cultures, folks, in other worlds, they compete. The right bath the right, the left bath the left. I am not saying one is right or wrong. No. But I am saying what we are. What we are. Folks, with us, if I farm cocoyam and it's quite big enough, I call my son Abeku and his wife and children and say, Abeku, this week you need to help me clear my farm so that next week I'll come with my family to clear yours. When Abeku is leaving the community, he leaves the children there because he knows that as far as I am there, automatically I assume parental role. Cooperation. I don't say that, no. I want your child, to run into the street and get into trouble while I protect my child. Folks, ours is a system of cooperation. That is what the wisdom in our ancestry tells us. Strong sense of togetherness. Folks, strong sense of togetherness. One people. Folks, to the point, those of you who are elders and, are closer to home, to the point that even when a child is adopted into the house, it is never ever revealed again that this child was adopted. And so sometimes when an inheritance comes to the house and there's an old lady saying that, no, as for this inheritance, Abeku is not allowed to go near this inheritance. But she's not actually telling you why it is. Abeku is our brother, so why can't he also inherit this too? But they never. Once you become part of us, you are part of us. There's no division. That even adopted children into the family, we don't divide them anymore, let alone people in the same family. So you ask yourself, how come we set up a governance based on strong divisions and competition? How do a people who inherently are so cooperative and together form a government based on strong division and separation and fighting each other to the point where nothing that whoever is in government will do will the opposition say, as for this one, I say kudos to you? The worst they will say is that, well, we thought about it first. The worst or the best, the best the opposition will say is that, well, as for this idea, it's good, but we thought about it first. Because they cannot praise you. And so then you ask yourself. Now bear in mind, I am not saying, again, let me repeat, that those with the culture of competition are better than those with the culture of cooperation. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that with the beauty and the architecture that the Creator made us all, every religion, every faith, every tribe, every people have found what is inherent in them and they have designed governance that suits them. Here we are. And I said the other time that we operate on a code of shame. Folks, we operate on a code of shame and indignity. It has its good side and bad side, don't get me wrong, but after all, that's who we are. We are a people who guard and protect our names. And so when it gets to a point where we no more guard our names, we no more are feared by being tagged with any negative things. Folks, replacing our ancestries, changing our morals, changing our values, loss of shame, and now better competition. To the point that even if you say, what's a Ghanaian, or what are the Ghanaian values, people get stuck, get shocked. What is the Ghanaian dream? Boom, we get stuck. That is how divided we have been. So divided that we have no common morals, no common values, no common dream. Now we have lost shame. And we have built a governance system on this negativity. And we are all there hoping that based on this division, based on this fighting, based on this enemy, you are not on my side, based on all that, one day we would get there. I think that's a dream on its own. Folks, that's a dream on its own. Who is thinking for us as a nation? Maybe we need thinkers. Maybe we need people who should sit and think for us. And think about these things. You see, because it can't be that only things that are examinable are the ones that you think is important. Oh, let's work a pie chart. Let's work Pythagoras theory. No. What about the soul? What about our spirit? Who is edifying it? Is it that God might have made a mistake and that we should have all been Americans, Australians, and Europeans, and he made a mistake? If so be it, then fine. Let's just hurry up and be more European as possible. But folks, if not, if the Creator did not make a mistake, then we are making a huge, huge mistake. Because for a people who operate on a shame, for a people who operate on cooperation and not competition, to set up a governance where leaders have no shame, have no guilt, and are competing against each other, and we sit here as common citizens hoping and dreaming that out of this strange system to us, I guess we have to dream in peace. Folks, but going back to the wisdom in the ancestry, why is it that they were telling us that the bird will fly with his own wings? Birds do not fly on borrowed wings. Why? Why? He flies, the bird will fly with his own wings. And one thing which I never thought of, why would they say that? But today is all making sense, that borrowed water will not quench your thirst. Folks, we need to go back to who we are. We don't have a choice. Either we go back to God and tell God that, hey, delete us and bring us as Europeans. But if we're going to stay here as black people, as Africans, as Ghanaians, then we need to go back to what it is that makes us the soul and spirit. Why is it that they were telling us that borrowed water won't quench your thirst? But today, I guess it's making sense. You can't borrow somebody's system of governance and think it will be well with you. You can't borrow somebody's education and think it will be well with you. Someone's language and think it will be well with you. It can't be well. And folks, truth be told, it is not well with us. It is not well with us. And we are still flying on other people's wings. Again, if you go back to ancestry, they say smile with your own teeth. It was rare. For our ancestry, don't go and borrow somebody's teeth to smile. When you see somebody's corn, do not grow your teeth according to somebody's corn. I mean, all these things have been told to us. But you know what? Those were the stupid errors. We sit here today and we refer to those errors as the stupid error. The audacity of formal education, I guess. The audacity of formal education. If you ask me, that's what I think it is. But here we are today, reaping the results day in and day out. And sometimes it just doesn't add up. We hear it. Hospitals without beds, roads or potholes pretending to be roads, humans drinking from same pit hole with animals. I mean, it just, gets down and down and down, and it's just divided. So there's a few who are doing well, so they are living in their big barricaded houses and they are in there safe. But where's the equity that human beings should be living with? Where is that equity? Where are we going to find it from? In the next few months, the president will be out on campaign again, saying that, give me power. I want to stay. The NDC will come and remind him that I should give you power. Go to PDS and see what's happening at PDS. And so instead of people being concerned that, look, PDS is bad or SADA was bad, no. To each of these parties is good news. The bad news for the president is good news because it gives me the opportunity to also come. Folks, we are not a competing soul. We are a cooperative soul. We need to have a system where there's cooperation. Folks, within my palace, there is opposition, quote and unquote, for want of a better word, opposition. But the opposition does not want my downfall. They insist that I do extremely well, because if I go up, they also go up. If I come down, they come down. That's cooperation. There's cooperation. There are people within the palace or the chieftaincy fraternity who would never ever ascend the throne in which I am, junior to me, but they are checking me. And they are not checking me that I fall. They are checking me that I go up. They are checking me that I elevate the stool in the town. That's their role as an opposition. And I'm just using opposition for want of a better word, but that's their role for cooperation. We need to cooperate more. We need to cooperate more. But based on what we are doing today, folks, it's nothing but we are heading to a cliff. Folks, we are just heading to a cliff. As to when we get there is what I don't know, but we are just heading to a cliff. It will not be like this forever. To get to a point where it will break. For people with one dream and one vision and one country and one people, we can't be so sharply divided and hope that you get unity in that division. So I am saying that governing on a borrowed culture, and I'm saying we need to go back, find out who we are, what our souls consist of, what our spirits consist of, why it is that God made us who we are. Find a system based on that and rule. Name is Nana Nsakwa. That's my opinion. I told you we can't do anything about this, but at least we can talk. 0302216541. But who knows? Maybe Abeku and some of the younger ones will one day pick you up and say, you know what, Nana Nsakwa said this one day, that listen, we need to go back, find out who we are, and base a governance system on it so things work out for us. Talk to me. Okay, so who's my first caller?
Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
This is Majesty Continent Channel.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Now, these things that you say, if it can be taken into consideration, like Ghana will change you. And you see, with your side of the presidency, unless the chief dies before different person takes over, so you don't have any option than to support him. But this time around, the presidency in our country now is about 4 years intervals. And as you are saying, If the competition that they are going is not a healthy competition at all, even if there's no mistake, they will bribe somebody to create something for the mistake to come. And are they coming to do something better than the one who was on power? Just a matter of coming to squander our money. So it's not a healthy competition, and God bless you for your topic.
God bless you too, and thank you so much for calling this beautiful holiday. 0302216541. Kwe is on the line. Hello, Kwe.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother. Let me hear you.
All right, Nana, it's an opportunity for me to talk. But first of all, I would like to acknowledge my dear brothers and sisters who celebrated the Eid al-Adha today and yesterday.
Of course.
Nana, this topic, in fact, you've touched my soul. In fact, you are doing very well. A time is coming that we will know what to do about your quota to the development of this nation. We need an amendment in our constitution. As in, we are people that were built to deal with what cooperation, to believe in cooperation, not division. But because of the bad, idea that the people are having towards this, constitution, or let me say the rules, it is turning everything upside down. So first of all, we have to tackle the constitution, the part that gives us the power to cooperate to each other. That is, I'm talking about the policy planning committee that the constitution gives to the nation. In fact, these committees are there to help build the country in terms of what policies. As in, this president, when you come, you are supposed to follow what is there. But what are they doing? What are they doing over there? They are there to help us to get to where we are supposed to be. But because of division, they come out with different ideas. They are supposed to be amended. In fact, there should be good planning committee, and it will help us to reach where we are going. Thank you very much, Nana.
Thank you too for calling in. Thomas is on the line. Hello, Thomas.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well, my brother.
Thanks for this topic.
Thank you too.
But I've been saying that if we build our local government system very, very well, what you are saying, we will all have peace. If I am in my district, in my district assembly, the assemblymen, the unit committees, the area committees, including the chiefs, they invite them and we do proper work. I don't care who is in parliament or who is executive. It is the local government system that we have to build. Look at the big mountain that is in the various districts. Why are the district assemblies poor? Sanitation, why are they not doing their work? But the system is being just on paper. They are not using the local government systems to empower the local people. Look, if the system is very well in the district assembly, the assemblymen are well equipped, the unit, because that's where the ground will understand situations, sanitation, education, civil service, everything, including the chiefs. Because if the assembly take a decision, the assemblyman is supposed to come down to the unit committees, inform them. But look at it, it's just on paper. When they call them, I don't know what to go to discuss there. And every 4 years they say we should elect assemblymen and unit committees. But to do what? So now what you are saying, I think we should build systems. We shouldn't just put laws on there and sit down and do nothing. Yeah, I think that we should write them, force government to equip their district assemblies to do their work very, very well.
Thank you very much. I have Papa Ansa on the phone. Hello, Papa Ansa.
Hello, great King. How are you?
I'm very well, sir.
Yes, God bless you.
God bless
Because always you bring topics that will let us think. You see, great King, I always tell you that our politicians don't think deep. To go and borrow democracy, meanwhile, it's not helping us. Because those who you borrow the democracy from, look at how their system are working. So, in this political era that we have, is I do you, you do me. Someone wants someone to go down, then he will capitalize on your fault to come to power. What do we see? NDC come, NDC will misuse everything. NPP come, they are worse. My point now is, you see, Ghanaians have to discern. As you are educating us, we have to discern and vote wisely, because at the end of the day, look at you being a paramount chief of Edumasi or where they are supporting you to move the town ahead. Now, what do you see? 4 years, someone is talking someone to bring him down to like I need the monarchy. That one will see that Ghana is moving forward. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you too. Let me point of correction. I'm not a paramount chief. I'm just the chief of Edumasi. I'm a paramount chief is Odenhoku Akoto the third. But Evans is on the line. Hello, Evans.
Hello, Nana.
Yeah.
I listen to you all the time. Very fantastic stuff. That you share a lot of food for thought. That you share for us to think through. However, today's own, I just want your thoughts on something from what you said about the fact that we are more communal. We work on consensus rather than competition and all of that. I think some of the societies in Ghana, if you go to northern part, especially when they want to skin a chief, there are some things that they do. I mean, sometimes it's actually a competition. I know of a recent one. I think that this law lecturer, Dr. Asopasami was saying, and I think they have to go through some competition. The person who did something best, it's and skinned as the chief. So, is it possible that maybe your thoughts might be a bit skewed towards a certain sub society?
You see, I thought about that, but you see, the system is such that with the northern, I don't know about where the culture is, but I am sure as soon as one ascends the throne, they all now come together. The other one don't go and sit down and perpetually hoping that you will leave.
You are right.
Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah. So anytime there's a vacancy, there's a bit of a struggle or competition for better. But as soon as the vacancy is filled, then there's peace. Unfortunately, because of the court system today, now we prolong it. So after the chiefs have settled, we say, no, I'll go to the court and I'll go to court all the way to Supreme. But when the courts were not there, it was the struggle was cut short, and then we all come together.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Maybe we should try looking at getting, I don't know, there's this thing that we don't want to do, trying to get a benevolent dictator.
But thank you for calling. But Lukman is on the line. Hello, Lukman.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Eid Mubarak to you and all your listeners.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. You see, I think we are all part of the problem. Ghanaians, we vote for political parties or politicians that promise us something that they cannot fulfill. At least, even the one that we have, if our politicians, MPP, NDC, since 1992, they were to be continuing the previous government, what they have started, Nana, Ghana wouldn't be where it is now. There are certain things that Rollins started when MPP came, they did never continue on it. They also start something, as Samuels came, they also didn't continue. Now, even just now, it's happening. There are certain things that your mama started. MPP is not continuing. How can we develop country like that? So, if we were to be voting for political parties, that promises us that all the development that they have started, they are going to build upon it. I tell you, Ghana wouldn't be where it is now. So, our politicians, they should stop giving us new promises. What they have started, they should continue building upon it. Ghana will move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, too. Say good evening to Felix Nikab Steria. Felix Nikab Steria, you're tuned in. Mesicho Cross, you're tuned in. Nino Gento is tuning, but let me speak to Samson. Hello, Samson.
Yes, sir, Bishop. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
There is no way a honest person and dishonest person will cooperate. there will be discrepancy. Students are honest and they are truthful, whilst our older men are making katasumumwa. So there's no way you Nana will agree with people who are dishonest. And God bless you, sir.
God bless you too, Samson. 0302 216 541. And if you want to send a WhatsApp, it's 0244 340 437. 0244 340 437. Louis is on the phone. Hello, Louis.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Talk to me.
Thank you very much for the topic today. In fact, this topic actually reminds me some years back, where in a family setting, you see that once you are a child in a particular family, every household you enter and there is food, you freely eat and you go away. And provided you are hungry, and when the child is erring, any adult within that community can correct you. But today it is not like that. And it is purely because of the kind of system of governance we have chosen. You see, these are some of the things that if elders will sit back and look at the history, look at our history and our communities, in fact, we would do ourselves good. If we should continue like this, I don't know where it will actually end us. Thank you very much, Nana.
Thank you too, my brother. And Kwabna is on the phone. Hello, Ojam.
Hello, Nana. How are you doing?
I'm very good.
Good. Hey, Nana, I thank you for the topic on board today. And I share your opinion to some extent. But, we can't have a democracy that is 100% cooperative. There is no system in the world. There's no government system in the world that is 100% cooperative, unless you choose the one from Russia or China or those communist and dictatorial regimes. But Ghana is a free country. We are a free society. We like our freedoms. So we chose a system that is adversarial, So what we need to do is to tweak the system in such a way that at a particular point in time, there will be some minimum amount of cooperation, that like the United States. We need to change, like I said, we need to change the hybrid system that we're running right now. It's just all that, And the chieftaincy system too is not. It's just for a small groups of areas, for communities, but not for a whole country. We are Ghanaians, and we don't want to be people who will be ruled by one person for many years. Nobody wants to be ruled. We want different shades of ideas and visions. So I think what you advocating right now wouldn't suit Ghana unless you go to Russia or China. That's where your system would work. But we can tweak our system in such a way that we can have a minimum amount of cooperation, and that will move our country forward. That's what I think. What do you think, sir?
I haven't proposed any particular thing. All I'm saying is that we should find a system which is less competitive to use. I mean, we need to come together and find a system that's less competitive to use. So I haven't actually been on this particular show. I haven't said, let's choose A or let's choose B. But what I'm saying is that the system we are using is really detrimental to our own good. So that's what I said. I haven't actually proposed anything. I haven't been that brutal this evening. But Derek is on the phone. Hello, Derek.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, boss.
I greet you well, sir.
I greet you back.
Nana, I think this is the council work. But then, unless we twist it a little, I keep advocating for a second chamber, that is the National House of Chiefs, to serve like what we have in the UK. If let's take this foundation, sir. It looks like we have the National Development Planning Commission, but who implements for there? All the appointees on the board, on the commission, are all politicians, one way or the other. So therefore, if we have, let's say, the upper chamber, like we have the Council of State, constituting all the paramouncies not elected or chosen by the president anymore.
Mm-hmm.
This time round, then they become the custodians as naturally they are.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the executive presidency. You go through the election, okay? The paramouncies constitute the upper chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do, you submit it to them. They are the custodians.
Mm-hmm.
So they then superimpose whatever they want in their various constituencies or communities on the then elected government.
So they become like board of directors.
Exactly. Sir. So you set the power of the National Development Planning Commission and give it to the National House of Chiefs. So that you see, our problem is because we don't have a development plan.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody comes in with a manifesto. So it's do you, I do, you do me, I do you business. Because if your manifesto is working, then practically I virtually have nothing to do within the next 4 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can be in power for that cannot come. So if we twist it this way, then practically we clip their wings. No matter what they come with, who cares?
I hope that they will listen to what Derek is saying. Asama Derek Kano Nyansa Ewomu. Bawa is on the line. Hello, Bawa. Hello, Bawa.
Good evening, Uncle.
Good evening. Good evening.
You keep us thinking anytime you come on the program.
Thank you.
Your presentation today reminds me of a story that is being told of two parties that sat under a tree. This guy was macheting the tree. The other guy was like, stop. Before he could say Jack, the tree was coming down. Now, we know definitely this tree we are calling Ghana will definitely come down because it doesn't look like anybody is making an effort to stop this you're talking about. And this tree would surely come down. So the question I beg to ask is that what should we do? What should we do? Because I feel like if I can get a place that would be safer for me, I will run out of Ghana. Honestly.
Let's hope the tree does not come down. Let's hope the tree. Nana, I think it's time to inculcate this value into our young ones through changing the syllables. This is Lawrence Afacha from Ensawam Signboard. Thank you for tuning in. That was on WhatsApp. But Mickey is on the phone. Mickey.
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Talk to me, my brother.
And I have two solutions.
Mm-hmm.
The first solution is that, Ghana democracy has come to stay with us. Nobody can change it again. Never.
Okay.
But you know what? If you look at the Ghana Constitution, it's saying that rule of law might be respected by citizens of this country. Now we see that leaders are not respecting the law. The rule of law is not working. All what we are talking about, or if the rule of law should work, everybody will rejoice in this country. Just like all Western countries that we are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So as the leaders are not practicing it, I want to play with the media. The media, they can actually launch this campaign for the citizens to support. We will have to make sure that rule of law must work. Then we don't have problem. Somebody talk about a decentralization government. That is why former Peroni brought that system. You see what? Probity, accountability, and transparency. Is that not it?
Yep.
So I think that all what this, Hula Balu, if we citizens have to ensure that rule of law must work, we'll have a peace of mind in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This one says maybe it's that democracy being practiced in Ghana is different from where we adopted it from, as is diluted with negativity, pride, greed, taking advantage of the underprivileged, selfishness, pretending we love our citizens so much, which is not. Divine Asari, good evening and happy Eid to you. Mr. Paul Gato, former DC of Enquanta North. So you've just tuned in and you are listening. Welcome to That's My Opinion. Rule of law. Maybe next week we have to look at the laws, right? There again lies in who we are and how we solve our problems and the laws with which we are guiding ourselves with. When we get a case, we sit at home and talk about it. Our law says when you get a case, take the person straight to police station and say you do it, and all the chiefs and pastors and everybody comes to say no, bring it from the police station to the house. So in making the law, at which point should we take a case to a police station? Which crime should we bring at home and bring your grandfather and your mothers to talk about it to solve it? Folks, it's a whole paradigm of who we are and how we're being governed. But maybe we'll talk about it later. Masood Paddy says Ghana is doomed on lies that borrowing is option to the heavens. I want to take this opportunity to wish my little daughter a happy birthday. She turned 2 yesterday. Growing beautiful and lovely. She probably has the longest name in Ghana at the moment. She's Nyame Enimonyam Nanahima Efia Esa Afrakuma Sintim Misa. I'm sure one day she goes to school and they say, can you write your name? She's always the teacher, have you got a pen drive? Because it's not going to fit on that paper. Nyame Enimonyam Nana Hima Efia Esa Afrakuma Sintim Misa. Yep, that's my daughter's name. And she turned 2. Well, so 0302216541 if you want to squeeze in one last call. But I want to say congratulations to Ibrahim Bako. Big congratulations to Ibrahim Bako. He got married recently, and as I speak, the Martin De Porres crew are all in Tunga celebrating with you and your lovely wife. Marianne Lovelace Johnson, Angelica Korte, Dr. Ray Kakraba Kwashi, Wilson Segbefia, Gary Babaku, NXT Yang Sing, Perpetual Ama, all in Tunga as I speak, celebrating the happy reunion of Ibrahim Bako and his lovely bride. Say special thanks to Marjorie Boafo. Also old, one of the old fellas of Martin De Porres. Marjorie was the brain behind a bit of me going onto Amazon. It's beautiful when women are not their own enemies, but they help each other. So Marjorie was the brain behind sending a bit of me to Amazon. And guess what? It became number 1. Beautiful. Became number 1 on Amazon. Eugenia Sintimedi said, how could I forget happy birthday to my beautiful niece? Longest name. Back in school, they always had to reduce my font size to accommodate all my names. You leave out one and daddy will say it's not his daughter's name, so he will not pay the bill. Derek is back on the line. Hello, Derek.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You see, the issue is I did not finish my submission. I think this should open another debate. I'm suggesting a government which democratic, which will be modern or brewed in the traditional context. Because you see, that year we have the structures already. Parties are carved within various constituencies. So practically, it will rather create the competition between the paramount chiefs. They will start to sit, and then one will be doing which will be a healthy competition. One will be trying to do the other because of the government pace the others are maybe taking. You see, so let's go that way. If we keep maintaining this 4-year, 8-year term, I don't think it's going to help us. Because for sure, these two political parties, the dominant ones, the MPP and NDC, nobody can take it away from them. So the smaller parties will always remain smaller. And it's not a question of maybe they don't make any impact at all. Go to Parliament today, it's shared among the two parties. You don't have the PPP, the CPP, and then others there. So let's calm down. Bring on board the traditional authorities. Because now government will come and then say, I'm putting a borehole here. Meanwhile, a traditional community might have some resources that maybe can be shared among all of us. If you talk about cocoa is grown in certain communities. If you talk about certain resources, come from other communities. So are we now saying the Nzemes own the oil, the cocoa for the Ashantis, Achins, and Bulgarians? It won't work. It won't work. Because our revenue collection itself is flawed. How many people pay tax? We are 30 million people. 2 million people are paying tax. So the remaining 28 million are not paying tax. Where are the welders? Where are the masons? Where are the carpenters? Where are the farmers? Where are these? We are all supposed to pay little. So, let's open the debate up.
Thank you very much. So we need to now look at this rule of law thing. And then, folks, I think we need to also look at this chieftaincy system of Edrumiso. Should there be some, apart from just bloodline, some qualification that allows somebody to ascend the throne in 2020 or 2019? You know, the days of Akufo-Addo is over. The principles are the same, but the times have changed. Should the Mbrewetia, the Queen Mothers, and the Queen Mothers, should they have a different criteria of looking at who ascends the throne? At least maybe land management skills, since you're going to be handed over land. Well, we'll do a show on it.